Hi everybody, VTech here, Blueberry Hill. So this is the final chapter for the drywall. They're finishing up the final touches, doing a little bit of sanding, and then any last minute touch-ups. They spent about 6 hours on Friday doing this, and then tomorrow, which is a Saturday, 21st, they're going to do the texture. As before, these guys are kind of running around real quick doing stuff, so I wasn't inside the house too often. Just did a couple of shots in here, but basically all they're doing is doing a super quick sand. Final touch-up, you see one of the guys doing a final tape and float on the post, etc. And then later on this afternoon, Melidon comes over and tapes all the windows and doors up, and getting ready for the texture.
Yeah, May 20th, so the guys just left. It's roughly, let's see, what time is it? Should be around 2 o'clock or something. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock, yay. So they came in and finished up. They did some sanding today, did some finer finish ups, and they just left. So technically, drywall's done, ready for texture. And that's probably coming maybe tomorrow or maybe Monday. Anyway, I'll take you through a quick tour. So I'll just do a little more close-ups. So everything's pretty nice. There's they're gonna spray texture, knockdown texture, and we'll make it all work. I kind of like that. It's called Mojave. So everything's really nice. I'm impressed. There's a couple things like here. Normally there's a wood trim that goes on, so that I think they saw that and they just did half of it and stopped. Things like this, wood trim as well. All these walls, we're going to get them to texture everything except for that little nook. Like a little picture frame thing. We just decided to play with that. And then the blue wall in the apartment, and that's about it. So, but everything's ready to go. Awesome crew, did a really nice job. Quite impressed. But I know this is probably the 4th walkthrough, but got only a few spare parts. So that's good on the budget. Everything's nice and tight, super messy. And apparently those guys will do all the protection of the floor and windows and everything else, so I don't have to worry about it. Even though there's plastic, like you can see right here, there's plastic still on the windows, so that's all done. But apparently they're gonna retape that anyway, just so they can control it. I can understand how they want to control their own product. But anyway, looks really good. I can't wait for them to texture. I'm gonna be at Coda this weekend, so I hope they actually come Monday, because then I'd have to get Angie to do the camera work, but it's not hard to just set it up and go. But anyway, there it is. It's really humid today. Still doesn't feel too bad in here. Oh my gosh, all that dust and powder and everything. And that's going to be fun, but then again, we're almost done-ish. And she's okay. Yeah.
Honey,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to.
So I was actually sitting on the porch having a cold beer around 3 o'clock, 3:30, and Melidon came over. That was a surprise. I didn't know he was coming, but he basically was taping everything up. So while we discussed it, he preferred for me to prime the walls. Luckily I had a primer that was good for drywall, metal buildings, all that kind of fun stuff. So I did a quick squirt with the Graco gun. As the text said, I was using a 615 spray tip. And it did the job fairly well. The primer I'm using dries. It takes a little while for it to dry, probably right around an hour or something like that before you can actually touch the thing. So it should be good for tomorrow. But see how fast that thing works. It's just fantastic. Love it. Anyway, he recommended I do that because the texture will stick to that for sure. He wasn't sure it was going to stick to the metal, although everything seems to stick to the metal. So I didn't think there was going to be a problem, but this is a safeguard, right? Plus it makes everything kind of consistent color, probably be good for the paint, etc. When we get there. Anyway, pretty quick work of this. Finished this up, and Melidon was happy. He's on the other side of the house taping everything up, and by the time he leaves, it took him probably about 4 hours to tape the doors, the windows. A lot of the windows he didn't have to tape, like the ones in the living room right there, right beside me. Those have plastic on them already. Okay, big day for us. Textures being applied. So the guy was basically sprays several rooms and stuff, and then runs around doing the knockdown. So the texture's applied. It's kind of a, I guess it's like a mix of some kind of mud, and then he runs around. This is our master bedroom. He must have sprayed that earlier, and now he's running around doing the knockdown part. I'm not sure how long he has to wait for this, but Angie ran out of the rooms because everything was getting sprayed. So, but anyway, she said that he was running around. I guess that's the guy's wife right there was helping him out. But anyway, the results are fantastic. We love it. Awesome job. I don't think we could be any happier with what it was. There's Angie trying to stay out of the gunfire here. But anyway, once the texture's applied and knocked down, everything looks so consistent. It's fantastic. There he is spraying the container walls. On the corrugated stuff, he just left it alone, didn't knock it down. So here's a walk through the house just a few hours after it was sprayed. It's still dark. You see the dark blotchy spots? That's the texture that's not dry yet, so it's a different color. When it dries, it's obviously white. It's just another mud product, and we had them spray the metal container portions in most of the house, and on those we didn't have them knock it down. Here's the garage. Our garage door opener was unplugged. It's got an onboard battery, so it was complaining for a day that it was unplugged, etc. The door would still open if we touched the button, but we're not going to do that. It's still covered up in there. Here we opened up the rear door, the side door. We can get some airflow. And then Angie and I go through the house, opening up a couple of windows and corners of the house so we can get some airflow and let the humidity kind of pass. Here I'm just showing it's still blotchy. You'll see that all the stuff is kind of like looking a little darker. That is, again, undried texture. And that's a little picture window, which we didn't have, and I'm having a nice cold beer. It looks a lot better with the container portions actually textured. We weren't sure we were going to do that. Obviously, our containers aren't perfect, right? We didn't buy the one-use versions, etc. So you'll see some dents and stuff. I think that's all part of the character. This is all going to get painted, of course. Anyway, walking through the house, it's starting to dry pretty good. You can see how messy it is, all the overspray on the windows. Angie had a fun time trying to videotape this stuff because he was moving fairly quick, and it was starting to splatter on her, so she kind of ran away. But she took a few shots. You saw that, him running around, spraying, and then knocking down the texture. But so the house is now very much done. We just have to let this dry, and then Angie and I are gonna go to Home Depot, pick out some color chips, and see how much paint we're gonna need for doing the entire house. We're doing a kind of a blue on the gray side color theme, I guess. Anyway, there'll be dark blues and light blues on the grayer scale, and that's kind of what we liked from our other house we had, and we're going to stick with that. There you see a huge messy job, right? We're leaving everything on the floor just because we're going to do the painting. We're going to leave the plastic on most of the windows, and I'll have to recover a few of the ones that we, of course, took the stuff off. But here you see, it's we've done what? How many walkthroughs through the house? Several, but it's all exciting for us. Hopefully, you guys find it the same. Having it all done, it's a huge step for us, and now we're moving forward. The next few steps should be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to the painting. We're going to use the Graco sprayer, like you saw me doing the primer, and that should make it work pretty quick. I also did we're going to do all primer first, of course, because you got to seal the drywall and prime it and ready for paint, and it'll be very consistent throughout the house. So we're doing a full primer everywhere, and then sealing paint, which is usually flat, on the ceilings. There you see the texture on the container. It looks pretty rough right there. It looks a lot better when it's dry, of course, and then whenever we put paint on it. The kind of the break between the containers that you see that looks not very nice, we're gonna have some kind of a metal or wooden beam there, and that'll hide all the imperfections and the pieces of metal that were cut out. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. What else I'll say, just walking through the house, we got you see the window open there. The breeze is fantastic coming through here. It was a really hot day. It was my truck was showing 99 coming back from the track, and inside here it felt really nice, even though it was very humid with the texture drying. But at the same time, the temperature was a lot lower. Very impressive. That the spray foam and all the other stuff we've done seems to be working. Can't wait to fire up the AC. You know, once we have everything plugged in and ready to roll. That's about it for the walkthrough. Here we are. This is a completed job. We love it. Can't wait to start the painting. Angie and I are going to sit down and actually we're going to go to the Home Depot, get some color chips, and then figure out how much paint we need and go from there. Anyway, thanks for watching. We're signing off for now. See you later.